Hello, thanks for joining us. I'm Ellee Hong, and this is Comcast Newsmakers. This hour's newsmaker is Eduardo Arocho, Executive Director for the Division Street Business Development Association. Today we'll be talking about upcoming summer events. Eduardo, great to have you here.
Thank you. A pleasure.
Let's first of all talk about the area and the specific boundaries that we're talking about.
Well, Humboldt Park, it's in the northwest side, near northwest side of the city. One of the most distinctive markers is the Paseo Boricua gateway flags, and everyone can see that on Western Avenue and Division Street. And there's another one on Mozart and Division Street.
And let's talk about, what does Paseo Boricua mean?
Paseo means, it's a Spanish word for passageway or promenade, and Boricua is a Taino Indian, pre-Columbian name for the island of Puerto Rico. It was known as Boriquen. So Puerto Ricans call themselves Boricua to identify the fact that they originate from Boriquen.
So instead of saying Puerto Rican town or Little Puerto Rico, it's more original. You say
Yes,
Paseo Boricua.
exactly.
Okay,
Not
I hope
cliche.
I said that right.
Yes,
so let's talk about some of the summer events coming up, because you're really highlighting this neighborhood.
Yes. Well, we have, it's one of the most historic Puerto Rican neighborhoods, over 50 years. We have many great Puerto Rican restaurants. And then some of our big events are the Puerto Rican Parade in June this year.
One of my favorite parades in the city. That is a lot of fun, the Puerto Rican Parade. Yeah.
And the festival that goes on in the park brings in about 1.2 million people per year.
Wow. I can see why, because it's a great parade.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we also have a wonderful museum, the Institute for Puerto Rican Arts and Culture, at 3015 West Division Street. It just became an official museum in the park, the Chicago Park District. And it's now in par with the Field Museum, the Mexican Fine Arts Museum, and other great museums in the Chicago Parks.
That's an exciting distinction to have.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they have some new exhibits coming up.
Yes, there's one opening in June. It's going to be there for the rest of the year. Incilio and Neo-Rican Identity. And it's going to be exploring that. The artist is Jaime Carrero. So his art is going to be exploring a lot of identity and issues with Puerto Ricans and being in the United States. A great place to learn that from. And also Antonio Mantorer, one of the great artists, a contemporary artist of Puerto Rico, he's going to be donating several pieces to the museum.
Wow.
So everyone's going to be able to enjoy those pieces and a lot of other wonderful art and culture there.
And you guys actually give tours of the neighborhood to folks.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Generally people can sign up at our website, dsbda.org. We have a tour request form, and we do walking tours of the neighborhood, of the monuments like the Paseo Boricua flag. We do historical tours of many of the murals. Some of our murals are there since 1971 to today. And we look at, obviously we go to the museum as well. It lasts between an hour and 2 hours. And we do groups of 50 at a time at most.
What a great way to get to know Chicago, because we have so many different pockets and communities in the city. And this tour sounds like a great way to get to know Paseo Boricua.
Yes, not only Paseo Boricua, but the history of that neighborhood, which it's a neighborhood that goes back to since 1895.
All right, so we'll definitely have to check out your website. Thank you so much. Sounds like an exciting summer.
Thank you. A pleasure.
This hour's newsmaker has been Eduardo Arocho for Division Street Business Development Association. I'm Ellee Hong. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you next time on Comcast Newsmakers.